Stay connected and stay hot with VIT Chennai. Feel the rhythm.
तुम सुनो सबको सुनाओ वॉइस इट वीआईटी रिदम तो फील करो मेरे भाई
வாய்ஸ் இட் VIT சென்னை கூட சேர்ந்து சிரிங்க சிந்திங்க கவலைகளை மறந்து ரிதம் ஃபீல் பண்ணுங்க
వింటూనే ఉండండి వినిపించే వినోదం వాయిస్ ఇట్ ఫ్రమ్ VIT చెన్నై ఫీల్ ద రిదమ్
ഇപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത് വോയിസ് ഇറ്റ് VIT ചെന്നൈ ഫീൽ ദ റിദം കാതോർക്കൂ മനസ്സ് നിറയ്ക്കൂ.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Devil's Advocate with RJ Aditya. Now I know we kind of left off at a cliffhanger at the previous episode, so let's jump right into it, shall we? So we were talking about the fact that humans are very good at sharing information. I mean, if you think about it, most of modern development is possible because of your ability to share information as quickly as possible. And another thing is that technological development, right? It has gone by so fast, fields have become very specialized. But because of this, we are able to maintain a very high standard of living. And we are able to use things that are so technologically advanced, we start having problems differentiating where our genius stops and the other person's begins. So this borderlessness, or if you prefer confusion, is very crucial to what we consider progress. As I said before, things have become very complex, and if it came to the point where we had to learn every single thing before we used a particular piece of technology, well, nobody would really be able to use everything, right? So yes, incomplete understanding when it comes to new technologies is actually empowering. Now, when does incomplete knowledge cause a problem for us? It is usually in the political domain. Now, it's one thing for you to use a car without not knowing how it is built, but it is a very different thing for you to support or oppose a policy without knowing a single thing about it. And this is how a community of knowledge can become dangerous. This was observed by Fernbach and Sloman. Now, they've conducted many experiments of their own, and in one of their studies conducted in 2012, they asked people for their stance on questions like, should there be a single-payer healthcare system? Or should there be merit-based pay for teachers? Should they be given more money at all? The participants were asked to rate their positions depending on how strongly they agreed or disagreed with their proposal. Now, obviously, a lot of people went like, you know what? You have to do this because it is what it should be. That is what is right. And, you know, a lot of random information and random arguments and, well, just opinions. Do teachers deserve more pay? Of course they do not deserve more pay. Why do they need more pay? I do not believe they need more pay. And now next, they were instructed to explain in as much detail as they could why their said motion should be implemented. You know, most people at this point run into trouble. They were like, I think I left the stove on. I must rush back to my house. Goodbye. Hope you find... Basically that. Yes, people will make excuses, or rather they turn down their intensity so much. They just sort of gave up, or they were very less zealous as before. Now, that's the thing, right? People have all these opinions, but it turns out most of them are baseless, or they're just feelings. They don't really know why they support said opinion. Now, we have a solution, or science has a solution, or science is the solution. Because it is a system that can help correct people's natural inclinations. In a well-run laboratory, there is no room for my side bias. The results have to be reproducible in other laboratories by researchers who have zero motive to confirm them. I.e., even if they hate your research, they have to stick with facts and try and confirm them. And, you know, this is why this system has proved to be so useful. Because At any moment, a field may be dominated by squabbles. I mean, people could be going at each other, but at the end, the methodology prevails. I mean, that's why it's often said, science moves forward even as we remain stuck in place. Oh God, the irony. In the book, Denying to the Grave, Why We Ignore the Facts That Will Save Us, by Jack Gorman, a psychiatrist, and his daughter, Sarah Gorman, a public health specialist, probe the gap between what science tells us to do and what we tell ourselves. Because as we all know, whoever graduated from WhatsApp University of Information is way more credible of a source than researchers and scientists who spent their entire lives researching and studying their subject. WhatsApp for the win. The concern with persistent beliefs, which are not just demonstrably false, but also potentially deadly, like the stuff that gets shared on the internet or on WhatsApp, or common misbeliefs like that vaccines are hazardous. What they don't understand is that what is hazardous is not being vaccinated. That's why vaccines were created in the first place. Immunization is one of the triumphs of modern medicine. You know, this is the reason why humans' lifespans has increased so much. But no matter how many scientific studies conclude that vaccines are safe and that there is no link between immunization and autism, anti-vaxxers remain unmoved. Well, to be honest, if you think about it, it could really be natural selection. Because, well, not vaccinating yourself or your child will technically reduce your lifespan and you know the rest. Natural selection. But the thing is, these ways of thinking at some point must have been adaptive. And they actually, the Gormans, they actually dedicate a lot of pages in their research to confirmation bias, which they claim has a psychological component. So apparently, people experience genuine pleasure, an actual rush of dopamine when processing information that supports their beliefs. It actually feels good to stick to your guns, even if you're completely wrong. So yes, our brain is literally wired to make us think like a stupid person. Brilliant. Now, providing people with accurate information doesn't seem to help. They simply discount it. Appealing to their emotions may work better, and as I said, most arguments are won by appealing to their emotions, not to logic, with the common people at least. But appealing to emotions is very unethical to the goal of promoting good scientific practices. So yes, the challenge that remains is how to figure out to address the tendencies that lead to false scientific belief, or rather, how do we deal with the human condition? How do we train humans to basically be less human? Very paradoxical, if you ask me. So yeah, we have gone through many studies in the previous episode and even in this episode. And you know what? It is very interesting to go through them and it is very eye-opening, but I guess it's time for some fun, you know? I want to see the situation right around us. I want to see how people around us react to everything. So I guess you guys might have seen, I asked on my story and on Voice It story to let us know that one moment where your brain just absolutely betrayed you, or when you realized, when you saw, and some incident that you saw that made you realize that human brains are so not, well, useful. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say not useful, but very unreliable.
Ancient Egyptians were surprisingly huge on dental hygiene. Like, they invented toothpaste. It had stuff like ox hooves and burnt eggshells. But to be fair to them, there's actually no better way to wake yourself up than with bad breath. Did you know that? Well, of course you didn't, because our history textbooks sucked majorly. If you're tired of having history be wars and dates, and kings and dates, and timelines and dates and dates and dates, I suggest you tune in to Horrible Histories every Tuesday at 6 with me, Bhargavi, where I give you guys the yuckiest, grossest, and honestly the most beautiful parts of history in no more than 30 minutes. Every Tuesday, 6 o'clock, and we'll talk.
Let's look at the responses, shall we? So the first one over here is overthinking for absolutely no reason. Well, yeah, that is actually an evolutionary thing, because as I said before, it is better to think that, there is some sort of danger and move away from said danger than just being very confident and walking into the dangerous situation and, well, dying. But yeah, in the modern world, it's actually not all that useful and just leads to anxiety. Our brain is fun, isn't it? Another one, again related to overthinking. Being afraid of not doing something and then overthinking it to the point where you procrastinate it anyway. Oh god, this is brilliant. So basically you are falling into a feedback loop where you're not working and you're anxious about it, so you procrastinate and then you get more anxious. The next response, when I forget my own name. Oh god, that is horrible. And yes, that has actually happened to me too. I was just also excited talking to this person and they were like, oh, what's your name? And I was like, that's a very good question. I should be knowing this. Okay, another one. Walking into a room and forgetting why I went there. Yeah, that also actually has a psychological explanation. Your brain kind of resets when you go into a new environment. I'll let you, do the research. You can read up on it online. The tendency of letting my guard down for somebody I care and love. Well, that is what you do in a loving, caring relationship. You have to lower you gotta lower your defenses. You have to make yourself vulnerable. That is why trusting someone is actually pretty scary. Because you show your most vulnerable side to them. I guess there's no overcoming that. And yeah, that's how relationships work. So another response, online exams. My brain is so used to Control plus F for answers, it won't let me do assignments without copying. Yes, our system really does force us to use wonderful methods, doesn't it? Another response, which is rather disconcerting. When I studied for a wrong subject during the exam week. Oh god, no. I really hope you pass that subject, or kudos to you if you actually got full marks or really good marks. That would be amazing. Another one. When there were sparks coming out from our AC and I forgot the place of the remote holder. Well, I guess your brain was just, entranced with the fireworks. Another single word or acronym response. JEE. I guess I don't have to say anything about this. And the next one. Forgot the card at the ATM. Got a new one and then again forgot it in the ATM minutes after I got it. Oh no. Oh no. This person just had a really terrible day. Losing your ATM card 2 times minutes after getting the new one. Oh dear. I'm so sorry. But yeah, the brain is very forgetful. The next response. Forgetting to turn to the very last page on the exam and losing 10 marks. Oh dear, another very painful one. I hope you didn't do too bad on your test. Another one. The in time of 7 when we had classes till 7:20. Oh my god, oh well. Everybody knows what this is all about. Well, you gotta take it up with the authorities, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Another one. When I believed that it was impossible to read upside down. Well, arguably that is a skill you can actually learn, so you should try it. Let me know if you actually learn how to read upside down. And the next one, when you give great advice to your friends, but then you end up doing the most stupid things when it comes to your own life. Oh my god, this is way too relatable. Yeah, it is. It is rather weird, isn't it? Because you probably give out the best advice possible, but then you yourself end up doing such stupid stuff. No comments. Okay, another one. Almost everything my parents have done. Oh no, that is just a massive roast. Brilliant. I mean, basically thinking that everything is going to be easy. Oh, yeah. Life is, well, the exact opposite of easy, except if, you're very rich and have a lot of money and, well, you don't have to really do anything with life. The next response. Oh, we have got a lot of responses about exams. Every exam I ever wrote, like I study for weeks and my brain is like, I read a question and all it has to show is 404, nothing found. Oh dear. I guess everybody can relate to that, can't they? At least me, sometimes when I see the paper for the very first time, I just look at it and I go like, okay, what in the world is this talking about? What is this? And then like 2 minutes later, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's literally what I studied yesterday. Amazing. Another response. Your question made my brain stuck for a few seconds by saying Oxford English. Oh, well, thank you very much, kind stranger. Another response that we have. When you have memory gaps and your brain makes up stuff, so you basically have fictional memories that never really happened. Oh my god, that actually sounds very scary. Well, at least, you have an exciting life where you're surrounded by uncertainty everywhere. I don't know, some people find that adventurous. I hope you like it. I don't know if you would, but thumbs up. I started to believe in a stupid lie I invented to avoid a party. Oh my. You know what? You'd really have to DM me. What was a party though? Why would he? I do not know how to react to this, but yes. When you're so good at lying that you convince yourself about the lie. Absolutely amazing. Attempting every question of any exam. Oh dear, yes, we have seen that. Me during every test ever. Oh, there are so many of these responses about exams. Oh, here's another one that is quite relatable recently. Also, the color of the killer in Among Us. That is so true. Sometimes they just run by so quickly. You don't see what color they are. And yeah, you have a very hard time convincing people because, well, you don't know what to convince in the first place. And the last one we have for the day is, when in an exam, my mind focuses on the incomprehensible lyrics of Despacito rather than my syllabus. Oh god, yeah. That is also another very interesting phenomenon, which is known as your brain does not care about your exam. All it cares about is Despacito, some random incomprehensible lyrics, which I'm not gonna sing because that would be terrible. Yes. Oh, and the thing is, like, this sort of happened to me too, when I was writing one of my physics exams, I guess it was some sort of LCR question, I should be thinking about capacitances and the formula and everything, but the only thing my brain was providing me with was basically, I got a laptop in my back pocket, my pen off, and I have got a fucking off, and the rap profit, men living in a cling office, and the kind of what's an office, but yeah, it just basically gave me the lyrics of Rap God. Also, let me know if you actually, wrote down the lyrics on your paper and, if the teacher, said anything about it, because I've heard a lot of stories about that as well. One of my friends apparently wrote music lyrics on their answer sheet. The teacher must have had a very fun time correcting that paper. Well, I believe that's it for today because, well, I don't know, I think I've been rambling for a long time. And thank you so much for your responses. I'm so sorry to the responses that I could not reach. There were just so many and so little time. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about all of this? Do you have any stories of your own to share that you have already not shared? Do you have any more opinions on what I've said today? Do you have any other interesting suggestions? What I could that, maybe I could talk about in the next episode. Let me know. And, well, that's it from me for today. Join me back on the next Monday at 6 p.m. on The Devil's Advocate, only on Voice It. And most of all, stay curious. Goodbye.
Hello everybody, welcome to Voice It, the very first and official radio club of VIT Chennai. And you're listening to RJ Meghna. So for all you information buffs out there who are very curious and intrigued to know about some interesting and fabulous facts and some amazing stories all the way from history and arts, down to science, information, and technology, welcome to the Did You Know show. So, did you guys know that there actually exists a technical name for the fear of long words? It's called hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia. In fact, it's one of the longest words in the dictionary and ironically is the name for a fear of long words. How coincidental, right? Did you know that snakes can actually help predict earthquakes? Now, we've all likely heard that dogs act in unusual ways anywhere from seconds to minutes before an earthquake actually strikes. But there's no conclusive scientific evidence that dogs can predict these tremors. On the contrary, snakes can sense a coming earthquake from around 121 kilometers away up to 5 days before it happens. And they respond to the impending tremors by moving out of their nests even in winter and trying to escape. Did you know that India was the first country to mine diamonds? All the way from the 4th century BC for around 1000 years, India was the only source of diamonds in the entire world. And the earliest producing diamond mines were in the Golconda region of India. Diamonds were in fact found only in the form of alluvial deposits in Guntur along the rivers of Krishna and Godavari in southern India. Did you know that India has the largest postal network in the world with around 1,55,015 post offices? But this may not sound too interesting. But one thing truly stands out. On the waters of Srinagar's Dal Lake floats a boat. Inside it sit a few postmen and with them a box of stamps. But this is no ordinary shikara as you may be thinking, which has been turned into a houseboat for tourists, or nor is it a part of the floating market. It's India's one and only floating post office. In fact, this floating post office exists only in India and this is the first one in the entire world. Established in August 2011, the post office acts as a regular post office with banking services and in-house museum. And in addition, you even get your mail stamped with a special Kashmiri seal which depicts a shikara and a boatman. So these were the intriguing and amazing facts for today's Did You Know session. If you think you have some really cool facts which need to be put out, do drop them in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you in my next session. So stay tuned, stay connected and stay hot with Voice It VIT Chennai. Feel the rhythm. Until next time, it's me, RJ Meghna, signing off.